Good morning, everyone. Today we are doing the first podcast on our channel, and I welcome Mr. Dipesh Singh Telara for this podcast. He is a computer expert and teaching in CBSE school from so many years. I wish our children will get some benefit, and this session will highlight some differences between CBSE and ICSE both. So, I welcome you, sir. Good morning. And as per the information what I received through comment sections from my children, I put first question for you. A child who has completed class 10th from ICSE board and now wants to join CBSE, many children, they are in confusion whether they should go for CBSE or they should continue for ISC. So those children, those who joined CBSE, they found so many changes, especially in computer subject. So I would like you to tell me what is the basic difference and how children can start preparing for this subject in CBSE board. Yes, sir.
Good morning, ma'am. First of all, thank you so much for providing me this opportunity to express my views over this topic. And what I'll say, no matter what board you are coming from, whether it is ICSC or CBSC, the only thing which one need to remember that the practical implementation of the concepts that we have learned, that the student learn, they need to practice it. The more they run the code, the more they feel comfortable with the programming language. It's the feeling that they feel that we are not having any background details of this. We are not confident enough that whether we are able to do it or not. So they get scared of this. But once they start, because in class 11th, we start from the scratch. So no matter what background you are coming from, whether it is Python language or whether it is Java language, every teacher in class 11th start from the very scratch. Though ICSE board students have this benefit because they have already learned the basics of functions, looping concepts, and data variables, database, basics of everything. They have already gone through it. But in class 10th, now we are implementing these courses through computer application and other subjects, but earlier they were not. So my point is, in CBSE or ICSE, both boards have leading programming languages in their curriculum. So in Java or Python, that I'm saying. The basics of class 10th that I have already mentioned, because ICSE students have the benefit of covering those courses, those concepts earlier in their class 10th. So they will not find any difficulty while switching to CBSE board. So they will have a benefit of this. And as compared to any other modulus, that how they are required to prepare for the courses, they only need to practice. The more they practice, as I have already said, the more they feel comfortable with the language. And to answer your second question, I don't think that there is any difference in their programming concepts, because all object-oriented programmings have the same basics. It's the syntax that gets changed. So if they are comfortable in one language, they just have to focus at one time in one language only. If they are comfortable in one language, they will feel comfortable while switching to any other language they are. Any other question, ma'am?
Thank you, sir. I think this will help us children so much. Okay. These days, I have seen that most of the schools are shifting to Python language. Earlier, they had C, then shifted to C++, then Java. But these days, most of them, they are shifting to Python language. So as a CBSE teacher, what reason you see in this shift?
So I will make it easier for your audience, ma'am. We all have an idea of social networking sites, right? So have you ever thought how these big giants like Facebook, Twitter, Instagram are handling their large amount of data? Why I'm telling this point is every fraction of second, the large bulk of data coming to their databases. So they have to be in a position where they can filter the data, which one is good, which one is bad. Bad in a sense, which is not supposed to be there on their platform. Because at times the government asks them, we have already seen recently that our government is asking them some posts to be down. So these kind of issues generally comes. So what companies have to do, they have to analyze the large amount of data, and for that data science is required. So there the Python comes into play. So Python is what Python does is it ease out this task. How? First, because the programming language is comparatively easy for any other language, so it's easy to learn, easy to comprehend, and easy to implement. Second, the implementation that to work with a large amount of data, whether it is complex algorithms, whether it is image processing, all can be performed with Python. I guess there are these two reasons basically, but there are other reasons as well for because of which we are switching into the Python. Many of the data science projects are developed in Python because of its flexibility and scale-oriented approach, as it enables to develop the framework around the language, right? Now, the major advantage is that because Python is an open source programming language. What does it mean is, as we know, once we have started working on a language, and as a developer, when we are working on a project, at times we need many functionalities to be incorporated. So what is required is, instead of writing down those lines of code again and again for every project that we are working upon, it's better if we have a library for those aspects. So what Python gives this benefit is, Python provides a platform where they always see what is required. They implement those new requirements in forms of libraries. For example, we have Kiwi, we have PyQt, PyGUI, PyJS. All these are the libraries that we have later on after their first incorporation. So it helps to many of the developers. So it's better to start with a language which is there to stay, at least for our lifetime. For that reason, Python is shifting. CBSE is opting Python.
Yeah.
I hope I have answered your question.
Yeah, thank you, sir. One more question. In CBSE board, as per my knowledge, for computers, they have two subjects, IP, that is informatics practices, and computer science. And these days, both the languages, they are using Python. So how the child can decide whether he should opt for IP or computer science?
Okay. So I guess many of your audience will find relationship with this question, because the students have generally this idea or this doubt actually, why they will opt IP, why they will opt CS, and what basically they should opt. The point is, in class 11th, whether you are opting IP or whether you are opting CS, in class 11th, we both have the same basics of programming concepts and basics of Python programming, whether it is IP or whether it is CS. But it is in class 12th that one discovers that CS have more logical programming approach as compared to IP. In CS, the focus is on programming developments and networking fundamentals, whereas in IP, the data analysis, numerical data analysis, basically, the data visualizations using graphs and some computer networking fundamentals are taught. So the course structure is almost the same, yet there is a difference. And there is a perception in general that if you are a science background student, you should opt CS, and if you are from humanities and commerce, you should opt IP, but it's not like that. Anyone can opt any other subject. And the point is, it's because, as I have said, in class 11, both are starting from the scratch. So one will not find any difficulty. The only point is, the science students or science stream students are expected to have a bit more logical aptitude. For that reason, CS is given to them because it has more logical programming. That's the only difference. Otherwise, both are providing the same opportunities. If one student is trying to pursue his career in BTech after class 12, so no matter whether he has CS or IP, both will provide the same platform. So in that sense, both are same. It's just the complexity level in class 11th and 12th, because it is starting from the scratch.
Yeah. And I think in BTech, the first semester is somewhat we have in class 11th and 12th also. BTech children, they get an advantage, those who have computers in class 11th and 12th.
Of course, I suppose it is. Yes, ma'am.
Since you are in BTech, you have done BTech also, you are an engineer also. So that is why I was just clarifying my doubt. So will this help?
I'm actually MTech. Now I have done MTech as well. The point is, ma'am, in class 11th and 12th, it provides the foundation course, right? So a student have advantage once he pursues his career in this field, no matter whether he's doing BTech or whether he's doing BSc Computer Science or any other course like BVOG, that is a vocational course in bachelor in vocational course. So the point is, every programming language that we are teaching in class 11th and 12th, no matter which board you are coming from, all the boards, all the courses are providing the basics foundation, how the object-oriented programming basically works. In any other language, only the syntax will change and the student will have a benefit, because in class, in higher education, they will be taught from the very scratch. They will be taught the C programming language. They will be taught any other programming languages as well, web designing, because as a computer engineer, you have to work in all fields. Because as of now, a student only know that software engineer means a programmer and program code, only this. But there are lots of fields. We have networking, we have database, we have web designing, we have even software testing. So that once the student gets aware of these points, then he will not have any difficulty.
And these days, computers knowledge is must, I suppose.
Of course, ma'am, of course. I'll cover this point at the very last. Just we will first go through all the segments, because as a student, one should be aware that no matter whether you are, as of now, whether you are interested in computer or not, after your graduation, if you are preparing for any job, you will be asked for sure from the computer certification. In general, the normal graduation also be asked a O-level certification.
Even for a receptionist job, also computer knowledge is must.
The basic knowledge is must.
Yeah. Like here, I want to ask you, like if a child has not done computers till class 10th at all, nothing, he was not having computer as a subject, he never opted for this. Will he be lacking somewhere when he opt for computer subject in class 11th, or he'll be like other children, those who have already done computers till 10th and now they are in class 11th?
Okay, ma'am. To answer this question, one thing I want from a student perception, that they need to ask themselves, have they ever thought a dream? Have they ever dreamt of anything? Are they able to visualize? Because I feel if one can visualize, he will find himself comfortable with the programming language. Why I'm saying is because even in the CBSE curriculum itself, it says Python is meant to be the first language, first programming language that one should learn. Why? Because English-like statements makes it easy to adopt, to comprehend. So even if you have no prior knowledge of coding of computer, no matter, because as I have clearly mentioned in previous answers that we are starting from the scratch. So no matter whether you have any prior knowledge or not, we will make you understood the concepts. The only point is you need to have a zeal to learn. You have to practice, because there will be no point that the teacher is teaching and you have gone through the theoretical aspect, but you are not coding. So one has to code. Once they are coding, they will find themselves comfortable. And one more thing that I didn't find so far in my career of 7 years experience in this teaching field, I didn't find any of my student from any background, whether he has from ICSE board, ICSE board, or from computer application or IT subject in class 10th or any other subject instead of computer. I didn't find any of my student having any difficulty because of this reason. So based upon my experience, I can say that the student will have enough opportunities to learn in class 11. So they will not require any prior knowledge. Prior knowledge will additionally benefit them for sure. But if they are not having, they will not find any difficulty.
So sir, this benefit is for the children, those who study under you, or all CBSE schools, they do this?
It's all about all CBSE schools, not only all CBSE schools. Even in ICSE board also, if a student is having no background in class till class 10th, then also if it comes to class 11, the teacher starts from the scratch. That experience I have from these many years. So that's why I'm saying.
Okay, sir. These days we hear a lot about national education policy. So what is your view about this? Is it going to benefit our education system, or it's like one of the political issue only? So what do you want to say about this?
Okay, ma'am, the National Education Policy 2020, I feel, it's my opinion, one may differ, I feel it will be a game changer in education history. Why I'm saying this? Because it's a known fact that Indians have proved their mettle by holding key positions in giant companies, be it Google or Microsoft. But the question is, why a handful only? Why not many? If we have aptitude, if we have this programming skills, why not many are coming out? The point is, NEP 2020 basically, that is National Education Policy 2020, basically focuses on enhancing research capabilities and quality of teaching in every aspect, whether it is a school, college, universities. So it will fill the gap between what students have learned and what the companies actually want. The point was, I feel there was never a lack of employment, but the lack of employability. The students were not able to give the best that the companies wants from them. And that was the gap. So national education policy is trying to fill that gap. The practical implementation, the innovative ideas requires actually promotion. So NEP is working basically as a promoting partner. So I say it's a good initiative. I feel one more aspect of this is I feel not binding students with a stream and giving opportunity the students to opt the subjects that they want to learn is a welcome step. Why? Because if a student is deciding that he has to pursue a career in a specific field and he feel that, okay, I have to opt the science stream first. So what happens in general that if he is opting the science stream, he's bound to he's bound to learn the physics, the maths, chemistry, all the subjects. Yeah. Why not if he is interested in physics and maths along with accountancy? Why not he is being given this opportunity? So NEP is ensuring that a student can opt any subject that he want to. He is not bounded to opt the chemistry along with the physics. So these all features will help a student to learn, to grow, and to find the subjects of his own interest. And for sure, it will be benefited in long run.
So definitely this is going to help our youngsters.
For sure.
Yeah. Now, few children, they are very slow learners in the beginning. Like when they come to you in class 11, they are very slow learners. Maybe for the school has changed, or maybe for any other reason they are shy in nature. But by their hard work, they put in a lot of hard work, they develop the interest in the subject, and at the end of the session they come out with the amazing result, and that like all the teachers and the management is wow, this child was never like this, we never expected like this from this particular child, he has done wonders. So can you have anything like this in your mind which you would like to share with us? Any
For sure, ma'am.
experience?
Though in CS field, I feel if a student is interested, it will reflect from the very beginning. We generally have the toppers that we have expected them, because we have known the students who is working hard from the very beginning. In general, they tend to be the topper. But at times, it was a time when I was teaching multimedia and web technology. It was now added as a vocational subject in CBSE, but earlier this was a main subject. At times the slow and steady also wins the race, and such incident happened as I had a student named Richa. She was an average student in general, but hardworking and dedicated for sure. During the end of the session, I can recall that she put a lot of efforts, but never thought that she will be she will leave everyone behind and she will be the topper. She was the topper of that batch actually. She got 1 mark deducted because I have given only 29 board practical examinations. But she will be remembered for the reason that she proved that if you are dedicated, no matter how much other students are far away ahead of you during the course, if you have your confidence, if you are putting your efforts, you will have your result. And I'm proud of her. She is now pursuing in career in remote sensing technology, I guess. Though there were a lot of students in general, but I can easily recall her name because she was the one who surprises me from the very beginning of my career.
We always remember those who are very naughty, very slow learner, or very bright ones. Mediocres were always, they are always ignored by the teachers.
Not actually ignored, but because I had taken
We don't remember.
No, ma'am. Actually, it might happen when the strength is more, but I don't feel if for sure a student have to put his effort as well. To be to come into a notice, one has to be either a naughty child or either a good child.
Yeah. So, sir, anything which you would to add on, what you want to share with our children?
One thing for sure, ma'am, I would like to mention over here, that a student needs to understand who basically are coming to CBSE boards, or even if you are from ICSE board and you are trying to make a career in this field. So one or the other point of time, you have to learn the Python. And no matter whether you are from the computer background, you have done your graduation in computer background or not, even if you have done BA, even if you have done BCom, then also if you are trying to get a government job, I'm just giving an example, not necessarily only for the government job, you have to learn Python. As I have said, in O-level programming language, O-level certification is required in generally in Uttar Pradesh for any job. I'm giving just an example. There are, because it's an all India level examination, for sure other boards, other education fields also require this. The Python job profiles needs to have the basics of Python. So we have software engineering field, we have Python developers, research analysts, data scientists, software developers. So all basically need to go through in their career span many programming languages. You cannot make a career only in one language, because if you are a team leader, you might have projects of any other languages. So you have to be well versed with the different languages. So one needs to be open, one needs to be very well versed with the programming language. So as of now, my point is, make one particular language your forte. Make it that much confident yourself. Make yourself that much confident that no matter what, you will be able to at least give your input in the programs that have been asked from that language. Because if you are able to comprehend, if you are confident enough in one language, I'll rest assure you, you will be able to find any other languages as easy as that particular language is. Because in your career span, you will have all the projects of all different segments. But Python will help you for sure in long run, because as of now, it's a leading programming language. That's it from my side, ma'am.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much. It was so nice talking to you, and I hope this podcast is going to help our children. Thank you so much. I'll come back to you maybe in future again if we'll have more doubts for the clarification about CBSE board, about computer science, about IP, and other things also. Definitely, it is going to help my audience, my children, and especially those who are presently in ICSE board and would be shifting to CBSE. I got many doubts like this, ma'am. Please suggest whether CBSE is better or should I continue in ISC board. So definitely, this podcast is going to help them. Thank you, sir. Thanks again.
Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you for giving me this opportunity to be a active participant of this podcast. I'll be available anytime you call me. I'll be available to give my thoughts on this. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.